What is God? I hear some people refer to him as the universe, like some kind of magical dice in the sky that predetermines everything. Cold, distant, final. But that kind of God doesn't seem to affect me here on Earth. He's too far away and far too abstract to be any good to me. Or maybe, instead, we could just see him as an emotion that I can conjure up, like love. After all, I can just appeal to love, and that could be God, right? But then, what about when those feelings wane and fall apart? Or what if I disagree with how he loves? God now appears shallow when I limit him to just an emotion. Or maybe I'm asking the wrong question to start with. Instead of asking, what is God? Maybe I should ask, who is God? With this new question, we can suddenly understand more about him. The question becomes more than just an academic exercise, since we are not able to put him under a microscope and make a scientific observation about him because he is a person. We don't learn about people, we get to know people over time and story. And this is my hope, that you get to know who God is through the stories in the Bible. I think that's the best place to start, where all stories start, in the beginning, or Genesis. Here's the first thing we see about God, that he is spirit, or he is not of the natural empirical world. He is supernatural. We see his very words and breath bring light and life into the world. This supernatural God commands and creates the natural. Furthermore, everything he makes is good. His very breath or spirit brings life to us all. Here we see the next thing about him. The relationship between God and people is different than everything else he created. He walks and talks like us, or rather, we walk and talk like God. Either way, God is constantly seeking us out for relationship. Then we see something else about God. Something more human than we first could imagine. When we turn away from God and scream, "I don't trust you! I don't need you!" his heart breaks. But he doesn't turn his back on us. He confronts our selfishness with justice, but also pays the cost of that justice with love, mercy, and hope. Over and over, we see God confront evil, but also provide a path to turn away from that evil. Often, we see people defining who they are. Maybe we should also let God define himself. Instead of us telling God, "This is who you are," maybe we should step back, listen to his story, and let him tell us who he is.